All right, so I'm not going to waste any time. Today we're going to be talking about the basics of running a video business. So for a little bit of background, when I started, I was about 14 or 15, I can't remember exactly, and I got really good at videography and photography. I understood, how to use a camera. I understood lighting. I bought lots and lots of gear. I watched, Peter McKinnon, Full-Time Filmmaker, the whole story, right? The thing is, though, I got good at the skills, but then I realized, all this gear is expensive and it really wasn't actually paying me any money. So then I realized, yes, I have the skills, but I'm going to need to learn the business side of it. Okay. So for a lot of you, you may have been in the, similar situation. You have the skills, you have the videography skills, but you don't know how to actually get clients. You don't know the business side of it. Okay. You have the skills, but you don't know the business. Okay. So that's what we're going to be talking about in this video. We're not talking about any sort of videography skills, how to get better at lighting, how to get better at, using your camera, none of that. Okay. Specifically in this video, we're going to be talking about the business side of it, how to get high paying clients who are going to pay you for your services, who are going to pay you high ticket prices and actually come back, over and over again to pay you on a recurring basis for your services. Okay. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. All right. So as I was saying, most of you watching this, you are going to have the videography skills down. Okay. You know how to shoot, you know how to edit, how to actually deliver, the right content that's actually going to get results for your clients, right? That being said, most of you don't understand the business side of it. It's completely new to you. It's just not something you've really looked into. Okay. So you don't know how to get clients who are actually going to pay you for your services. When I started off, I was charging, $30, or I was working for free sometimes. Basically, I had no idea how to get high paying clients. Okay. So I've been in your shoes. Okay. So a lot of you are relying on word of mouth. Okay. So you're leaving the success of your video business up to the chances that someone is just going to give you a referral. Okay. So if you want to predictably scale your video business, you don't want to just leave it up to chances. Okay. So even worse, you might think you just need to do more cold outreach and you'll magically get more clients. Okay. And for more background, just to prove that I was literally in your shoes, I spent 8 months straight doing cold outreach. Okay. And this wasn't just scripted messages that I was hammering out to hundreds of people. This was personalized, outreach. This was me sending looms just like this, saying, here's the problem. I can actually solve it with video. Let's talk. Basically that. Okay. So this was personalized outreach and I still got 0 clients from that. So a lot of people are teaching that, but it's an outdated system. It's oversaturated. It doesn't build up trust beforehand. I'll get into that in another video. Okay. That's not what we're talking about. I'm getting off topic here. So basically, I know this, like I said, because I was in the exact situation. I went from charging $30 per video and spending months doing cold outreach with 0 results. Okay. And now at this point, I'm landing multiple 4K per month retainers with a predictable way to scale my video business. Okay. So a lot has changed. And the main thing that's really changed is I understand the business side of it, how to get clients to chase me instead of me chasing them. Okay. So today I'll actually cover the basics of running a video business, like I said, and how to land high paying retainer clients. Okay. So first off, what is a business? Okay. So forgive the messy writing. I actually wrote this on the mouse, so it's going to be a mess, but you get the point. Okay. So this is you and this is your market. Okay. So really any sort of business is you providing value to your market, and the market is going to pay you for that value. Okay. So that begs the question, what is value? Okay. So basically you're taking your market from their current situation here to their desired situation. Okay. So point A, make that red, point A to point B. Okay. And your service is going to be the bridge to that gap. Does that make sense? So basically, how do you actually provide value at this point? AKA, how do you solve a problem? Okay. Because their problem is they're not at point B. So you're basically solving the problem. That's what the bridge to that gap is. Okay. So first things first, you need to niche down. Okay. So to create a solution to a problem, you first need to understand the actual problem, right? So that's why niching down is so important. Okay, so the problems in real estate are going to be different than the problems in e-commerce, which will be different than problems in weddings. Okay, so for real estate agents, the problem might be they're not selling enough houses. For e-commerce, they might need more social media engagement. For weddings, I don't know what the problems in weddings are. That's why you have to research it. Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. But basically, you can't, try to work all the niches at once. It's gonna be like trying to chase 2 rabbits at once. If you know how that works, you won't be able to catch anything, so you'll be left with nothing. That's the same exact concept for a niche. That's why you have to niche down. That's super, super important. Okay, so here's a little bit of information on how to actually pick a niche and things to look for. Okay, so the 3 things here are going to be size, financials, and pain. Okay, so first off, let's talk about size. So this can be the size of the market. Okay, so you might not want to work with, a super small market where there's just not a lot of people. Okay, so find a bigger market. This could be real estate, e-commerce, dentists. There's tons and tons of niches, but don't choose I can't think of one offhand, but a super, super small niche. Okay, so that's the first thing to look at. You want a bigger niche so there's actually a lot of opportunity in that market. The second thing is the financials. Okay, so you don't want to work with, students. Students don't have a lot of money. Okay, so if you're selling a product or a service, you don't want to be selling to someone with no money. Startups are a good example. They don't really have a lot of money to invest, which means they can't really pay you for your services. Okay, so financials are going to be huge when you're actually looking into a niche. Okay, the third thing is going to be the pain. Okay, so if there's no pain, you can't sell anything, right? Like we're talking about earlier, business is just solving a problem. Okay, so if they don't have a problem, you can't sell anything. Okay, so if the pain is really high, then you'll actually be able to sell something. So if there's no pain in the market, it's gonna be a lot harder to sell. Does that make sense? So look at it like this. Okay, so find something you're interested in, and then also find something that meets these qualifications. They're, size, financials, and pain. Okay, then you kind of just settle in the middle between those 2 things. Does that make sense? Pretty simple. That's basically a niche. Okay, next thing is the pain. So that's what we're talking about. So money is made when value is created. Value is created when pain is alleviated, and pain is alleviated when the problems are solved. Okay, so it's as simple as reverse engineering by starting with the pain. Does that make sense? So I made a note here. Don't set out to make money. Okay, that's going to be, you're going to have problems. If you're just simply trying to get to 10K per month within a week, that's not going to happen. You're going to have a lot of problems down the road. Okay, so set out to solve a problem, because that's basically what business is, like we're talking about. And then in the process of doing that, you're going to make money. Does that make sense? So don't set out to make money, set out to solve a problem. And when you solve problems, you are going to make money. Okay, so step 1 is the problem isolation. So you actually have to have a problem to solve. That's how you're going to make money. So the way I like to go about doing this is a great way for beginners especially, is literally just to call up hundreds of businesses to thoroughly understand the niche. Okay, so call them up, just be completely transparent, be like, hey, I'm new to the market, trying to understand, real estate. I have a few questions. Okay, and then basically you're just going to want to understand everything about that niche. Basically questions like, if I could wave a magic wand and solve one problem in your business, what would it be? Or what are some common challenges? What are some common goals? Questions like that, just to understand the niche and everything about that. Okay, do not skip this step. It's gonna be super, super important. Okay, and I'll even say spend 1 to 2 weeks on this part. It's essential. A lot of people, they're just gonna blow this off, and it's not fun. It's not that it's not that fun, honestly. Okay, it's not something you're really gonna want to do. But if you skip this step, you're gonna have so many problems down the road. Okay, so you're probably not going to feel comfortable making those calls, but you just got to get over the fear of that, because this is going to lay the groundwork for your business. Okay, so don't skip this step. Spend 1 to 2 weeks on this. Just really understand your market. Okay, once you start doing that, once you start making these phone calls, you're going to start seeing and understanding patterns and common pain points. Okay, so there's going to be, if you're talking to 100 people, there's going to be commonalities. Maybe they're all struggling to get clients. Maybe they're all struggling to get website sales. I don't know. You're going to have to figure that out. Okay, so that's the first step, is the problem isolation. Okay, now we're going to be talking about creating a solution. So we've already niched down. We understand the niche. We understand their pain points. Like I said, don't skip this step. It's going to be super important. At this point, you can start to create a solution. Okay, so you're always going to be selling information. With a done with you service, that's DWY, done with you, that's just going to be in the form of coaching, selling information, as a coaching or course or whatever, right? A done for you service, which is probably what most of you watching this are going to be doing, is in the form of a service delivery, okay? But either way, you still need information to solve the problem, okay? So for an example, you need the information to know, one, how to operate a camera, pre-production, production, and post-production. That's one side of it. You still need that information. The other side of it could be, the right videos to create that solve a specific problem, okay? So you're going to come in there and actually understand their situation, and actually what videos to create. So for an example, a landing page video that would get better website conversions. Instagram Reels will get more followers. Facebook ads would capture attention, right? So understanding how the videos work to get specific results is also going to be part of that process. You're selling that information, okay? So this is super important. Again, spend multiple weeks on this, even months, just understanding everything about how to actually deliver that solution, okay? Next thing is going to be the offer, okay? So a good offer hits these 3 points, okay? So the first one is tangibility, okay? So what exactly are you going to deliver, okay? So this could be, a specific number, okay? So let's say you're working with real estate agents, or let's say dentists, okay? You could say like, I will deliver 30 booked calls in your calendar, or 50 qualified leads. Like a specific number, it has to be tangible so they actually know what you're delivering, okay? Next thing is time. So you could say, I'll deliver 30 booked calls on your calendar, but if they don't have a time, this could be over a span of 5 years, okay? So a specific time is going to be essential in creating an offer. So this could be, I'll get you 50 qualified leads within, 10 days, 15 days, whatever it is. But add a time frame on it. That's going to be super important to creating an offer that people are actually interested in, okay? And then last one is risk reversal. Okay, so that's basically, I'll get you 50 qualified leads within 10 days or your money back. Okay, so risk reversal is it's one of the best ways to actually, create an offer. It's something that, if someone's going to invest their time, probably their money, actually, mostly money. If someone's going to invest their money into something, they want to know that they're actually going to get the results that you promise. So risk reversal is a great way to actually guarantee that, and it's going to make them feel a lot more comfortable investing their money into something they know that is actually going to work, right? So big thing here is you actually need to believe in your service. You need to know that your service is going to deliver the results. And if you do that, it's super easy to just add a risk reversal, okay? So with these 3 things, you're going to have a great offer, an irresistible offer, okay? So great book to read on this was $100 Million Leads by Alex Hormozi. That's a great one. Basically talking about how to create an offer, okay? So that's a great book. Did I say 100 million leads? $100 million offer. That's what it's called, I think. So yeah, that's a great book to read. And then lastly, getting close to the end, is marketing. Okay, so now that you've, first off niched down, you've understood their pain points, you've created a solution and now an offer. Now you need to actually get people to hear about your service and your offer. Okay, so that's where marketing comes in. Okay, so the way I recommend doing this is with a personal brand. You want clients to chase you instead of you chasing them. Okay, so a lot of people are going to tell you to do cold outreach, but that's really just you desperately reaching out to people, chasing them, trying to get business. The problem with that is it's super saturated, for one, so everyone is reaching out to these businesses, and 2, it doesn't build up trust beforehand. Okay, so people don't know you, they don't understand, they don't trust you, so it's going to be a lot harder to actually get clients. So with a personal brand, you can build up trust beforehand and get people who are interested in your services, who are going to reach out to you for business instead of you reaching out to them. Okay, so this is a great way to build up a long-term strategy that works, over time. Okay, with cold outreach, if you stop doing cold outreach, you basically are left with nothing. With a personal brand, you always have something to fall back on. This could be your email list, this could be your Instagram, YouTube, wherever your brand has been built up, or all 3, honestly. Okay, So that's marketing. And then lastly is sales. Okay, so you need to learn how to sell your product. So now that you've gotten people, who've heard about your product or your service, then you need to get them on sales calls and actually sell them as a client. Okay, so I'm not going to talk about selling in this video just because that would take hours to actually get into. So there's lots of videos on YouTube. I'll actually leave a link to a free community where I have an in-depth course on, for free by the way, on how to actually go about selling it. So I'm talking about the 6-figure sales blueprint on how to actually sign clients and the whole sales process that I use. So this has scripts, templates, even live recordings of real sales calls that I've been on. So like I said, that's completely free, but also if you don't want to do that, that's totally fine. There's lots of videos on YouTube. There's books to read. Let's see, there's How to Win Friends and Influence People, Sell Like Crazy. Those two are super good books if you want to learn sales. So there's lots of free resources out there to learn sales. Okay, so just basically once you get these calls booked, you actually need to take them from a booked call to a paying client. So that's what you want to focus on there. Okay, and lastly is just building up systems. Okay, so notice this is step 7 and not step 1. Okay, so don't focus on building a system until you're already signing clients. The reason behind that is because if you start focusing on building systems, you're going to put too much time and effort into that, and you're not actually going to focus on the things that matter, like understanding your niche and their pain problems and creating a solution, stuff like that, right? So follow this in order. Don't skip steps. Actually follow this structure. There's a reason it works. Okay, so that's the basics of it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out via Instagram or leave it in the comments, and otherwise I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.